human activity could be taken to another level by consuming this leaf. It's a very good digestive. If you have any consumed small quantities of poison in the food that you've eaten, it neutralizes all that. This leaf has the ability to absorb highest amount of solar rays, particularly its stem is so sensitive that it becomes a source of perception, and if you consume it, it enhances your neurological system and in turn your perception. So at the end of the meal, people consume this. These two things have been related, that human activity could be taken to another level by consuming this leaf. And that leaf works only if it has at least an inch of stem. If you cut it close, it doesn't have the same thing. This leaf, I know almost any leaf can be used, but this particular leaf, if you put it on water, the stem will always point towards the north. You know this? If you put it in the water, in still water, it'll naturally turn this way and point to the north. So if you're lost in the forest, you put it there in the water, it shows you which way is north. Once you know north, you know all the other directions, I believe. Maybe many of you don't know what is a betel leaf. In India, it's very important, it's a very good digestive. It is alkaline in nature. If you have any consumed small quantities of poison in the food that you've eaten, it neutralizes all that. Any acidic poisons are neutralized, including cobra venom, it could neutralize that. And to some extent, it's not that it will completely prevent, but it brings down various aspects. So at the end of the meal, people consume this vettale or villedale or tambul. Betel leaf and perception have been connected because it is a neurological stimulant, nervous stimulant rather. If you consume it, your nerves will go into mild like that. So your neurological complexity and neurological activity and your perception are directly related. Why a human being is able to perceive things a lot more than any other creature is, we have the most complex neurological system. Actually, you should hear better, you should see better, you should smell better than any other creature. But living in cities, it's been dulled down. If you lived in nature, these things would be very, very alert, just like that. Otherwise, if a human being lives in nature, he has the highest level of five senses, because we have the most complex neurological system. A little hype on that, you naturally perceive. So, whatever tools which are used for perception, always there is a vetal paku, vettale, definitely there. Because a betel leaf stem is capable of perceiving things. Betel nut and this leaf are used together, so English people started calling it betel leaf. It is not a betel leaf, it is vettale. Paku is separate. So, this leaf has the ability to absorb highest amount of solar rays per square inch compared to any other leaf. That's why it grows only in shade. It cannot take sunlight because it absorbs too much. So because of this ability to absorb, particularly its stem is so sensitive that it becomes a source of perception and it is a pointer towards the north, and if you consume it, it enhances your neurological system and in turn your perception. And if it's been in touch with Devi or its stem is pointing towards Devi, it also absorbs whatever is her quality and then you want to put it into your system, that is the idea. But you can consume it. Not every day, maybe once in a way if you want. You can consume it definitely you can see there's a little up. It is a stimulant unlike coffee or tea. It is not aggressive like that, but it works. If you have a heavy meal and then eat a betel leaf, then you will see it will not let you sleep, but at the same time you don't feel hyper-activated. A gentle activation of the neurological system happens. So it's been in use for a long time, and betel leaf also, there is a tradition you should never tear it vertically, because the spine of the betel leaf is very important. You should not tear it vertically. If you want to share it, if the leaf is like this, you must cut it like this, but never cut it like this. The most important part of the leaf is the spine. So if you share it with somebody, they must also get a piece of the spine. If you tear it this way, you may get it or they may get it. Both will not get it. So when you break it like this, both will get the spine and the stem in some way. So that's the reason why betel leaf and Devi are very connected, because both are for perception, both are for enhancing human perception.
So, what is this leaf called in different languages? In English, it's called betel leaf. In Tamil, it is called vetalai. In Hindi, it's commonly called pan ke patte or tambul. Many scientific research reports also mentions benefits of consuming betel leaf. The United States National Library of Medicine published an article in the journal on benefits of betel leaf and mentions how since ancient times in India and China, betel leaf was used for treatment of various disorders and claimed to have detoxification, antioxidation and anti-mutation properties. Also, according to the Pharma Journal, a research report mentions how consuming betel leaf helps in curing various diseases like bad breathing smells, constipation, headache, itches, swelling of gums and many more. And this leaf also has antioxidants activity and antimicrobial properties. In Indian culture, betel leaf is also offered to Devi with stem pointing towards Devi, so that the qualities of Devi is absorbed by the leaf and then it's consumed, so that one can enhance perception and also acquire qualities of Devi. Please let us know if you liked this video in comment section. Namaskaram.